We are back for a special edition of Betty and AJ show. So we got something different kind of going on this week. What are we doing?
So this week we are highlighting one of our more popular group exercise classes, which is Barre, and we are inviting a lot of extra special guests to help us out this week.
Yeah, so a bunch of the guys that we work with, we have invited them to come try this class. We've noticed that just about all of our group exercise classes are very female heavy, but especially Barre. Men are afraid to come try it, I think. And so we want to see what they think and how they react to the class. So check it out. All right, so what do you guys think of when I say Barre class, that you're going to a Barre class? What do you think?
I guess I think of instantly like ballet and this bar that is, we need to lower the bar.
So I really don't know what to expect, honestly. Is it going to be like a ballet class? Is it going to be like a stretching Pilates type of thing?
Ballet, something along those lines.
Ballerinas lined up along a pole doing squats and then going up on their tippy toes. That's what I think.
I don't even know what the appropriate attire is.
Tutus.
I was thinking like ballerina, I need a tutu, maybe pink.
Was told I don't have to wear a tutu.
My expectations for Barre class is that I feel like I'm going to struggle with my flexibility and probably going to be in some uncomfortable positions.
Dance and intense. It's going to be 2 days later. You're going to go, oh wow,
yeah.
I've been told it's going to be more intense than I can ever expect, and that not to scoff at it. That I'll probably be whipped by the end of it, but I might surprise you guys too and be able to handle it better than.
I think I'm going to be challenged with my flexibility and my core strength, and I think I'm going to probably be sore tomorrow.
I don't bend or stretch or reach for the stars.
Or my feet.
Yeah, I can touch my toes as long as my knees are at my chest.
Yeah.
But
So if we survive it and thrive, there's no excuse for other men in the Y not to give this a shot.
All right, so this is our instructor cast today. How do you think they're going to handle this? It's all their first times.
I think the biggest thing is that for most people, they come into a Barre class expecting to dance and to do ballet. And yes, it's based in ballet, but no, we don't dance. There's no spring recital coming up, unfortunately. There's no fun costumes. So I think for them getting over that initial nervousness that I'm going to make them perform will be number one.
Yeah.
And I think number two is that I've asked them to grab some weights, and I've told them that 1 or 2 pounds would be really appropriate. I can almost guarantee they're gonna have higher weights because they can have higher weights, right?
Yeah. So what is the biggest piece of advice you'd give someone who's taking Barre for the first time?
I think for the first time, it's just be ready to accept that your balance probably isn't as good as you think it is unless you practice that on a regular basis. And I think the other thing is to remember that Barre, part of the point of it is that we're going to work muscles that you don't work in every other class. And we also don't use momentum. So if you're used to doing a really big squat and you're like, oh, I can do 100 of those. Well, that's fine, but can you hold a squat down in the low position for a minute? Yeah, maybe not. So that's kind of what we do. So we try and work on the muscles that are not used as much in other places, hips, lower back, and core, and then we hold them for a long time so it burns a lot, and that's normal, and that's good.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you.
I'm not very flexible. I'm right. I was right. I'm not flexible.
I was surprised. I really thought I was flexible.
I think it goes after muscles that particularly men probably rarely use, because we were feeling it very quick.
Yes. After.
I think it's a good combo thing. I think for me, I've been spending a lot of time doing cardio, and now I'm trying to progress into other things. I think if you're looking for strength training, not just, and particularly if you don't want to be like, if you're finding it challenging to lift weights or you have issues that prevent you from that, I think this is a great way to do it.
It's form, and so that's small movements, but I feel like I've been put through it, so it was fun.
It's a workout. It's tough. I don't know.
I would say it really points out your weaknesses. You work out a certain muscle group and you get into a certain routine, then you throw something like bar into the mix, and I started sweating profusely shortly into it.
I'm never complaining about spinning again.
You won't believe, but by the end, you'll barely be able to lift a 1 pound weight.
1 pound.
I went with 2.
I could have sold my 1 pound weights about 5 minutes after the boys all laughed at me and my little 1 pound weights. Yeah, first rule, it's one of the things I learned early at the Y when they say grab like just some small weights, it means you're going to be using them a lot. So when you're holding them up, they get heavier and heavier.
Again, that body weight, again, body weight resistance, it's not about how much you can lift and put down once.
I'm going to be smaller.
What was your favorite part?
When she said you're finished,
At the end where I put my towel over my head and I started breathing.
Listening to the whining of my colleagues. I love the one where she asked us to raise our legs and everybody let out a big scream, and she's like, that isn't exercise, we just started lifting our legs. There's a lot more going on here in a second.
Plus, doing the balancing work, I know you talked about it like baseball. As a pitcher, some of those exercises brought back those memories of training. So that was relatable from a sports standpoint. But overall, it really targeted all the stabilization muscles in your lower body, and it definitely worked,
They talk about golf too. If you want to loosen up the hips, get a nice little swing.
Definitely good for athletes. I think athletes should definitely try this class because as we were talking as baseball players, some of the stuff we were doing did bring back memories of baseball as a pitcher.
And I'd like to say getting a mix, okay, you got the cardio, but also, again, the muscle resistance, natural body resistance, and I was sweating, I was breathing hard, so it's not like...
It's a workout.
It is a workout.
How did they compare to your expectations?
Exceeded exponentially. I had none, so and I was really
So would you recommend this class to other guys?
For sure.
To everybody, male or female. You will have soreness in muscles you didn't know existed, which is good. I like that.
Yes. I would recommend this class to other guys, and yes, I would take it again.
All right.
Yes, I would take this class again.
Absolutely. Yeah, because one thing I think we all found out, especially me, is that, for instance, my hamstrings are really tight, and I can't do, at this point, I can't do some of the things she asked me to do as far as the stretch and pulls. Like, okay, here's something to work on, and as she pointed out, that loose, tight hamstrings are going to lead to hip problems, knee problems. I don't want a hip replacement. I don't want knee replacements. She said, you're compensating. Knees and hips are compensating for tight hamstrings. I'm like, okay, now I've got something to work on. So, it's a challenge. I would challenge other guys.
Would you take this class again?
Yes, in fact, I think a lot of these guys would.
Are we done?
Yes.